world where gods fly, mutants rise, and Avengers assemble, one woman dares to ask, why not me? This is not just a comeback, it's a declaration of war.
Welcome back to Top Secret Inc. I'm your host, Thorne Bishop, and today we're digging deep into Ms. Marvel Volume 1 Best of the Best by Brian Reed and Roberto de la Torre. This 2007 relaunch aimed to make Carol Danvers a top-tier superhero again. But does it deliver more than just explosive fight scenes and nostalgia? Is Carol a comic book icon, a government pawn, or something in between? Let's open up the Red Files and find out. So check this out. Right after the events of House of M, Carol Danvers gets a reality check. In that world, she was the number one superhero on the planet. She was respected, adored, the absolute gold standard. But when reality snaps back, no one remembers. She's just Carol again, kind of floating in the background of the superhero community. And now that eats her. She decides right then and now she's going to prove herself, and not just as a good hero, but as the best hero. Her first big mission? A low-key alien invasion in some small town that's way more dangerous than it looks. What makes this issue so good is that it's not a rehash of her origin. Instead, it's Carol wrestling with her identity. It's about the frustration of knowing she can be great, but no one sees it yet. Plus, you've got Captain America and Jessica Jones dropping in, reminding us that she's stepped back into a bigger world. It's small-scaled action on the surface, but symbolically, it's Carol planting her flag in the ground. Now here's where it gets interesting. Carol decides she needs to take control of her public image, which is hilarious because she hates the spotlight. She gets herself a publicist. She does the whole interviews, the photo shooting thing, but you can tell she'd rather just be out there punching bad guys. But while she's wrestling with PR, the alien threat from the last issue shows up. Turns out these things are the Brood. And you know the Brood. They're basically Marvel's version of the xenomorphs from Aliens. These things are parasitic monsters that turn everything into one of them. This issue is really about dual pressure. On one side, Carol's trying to figure out who she is in the public eye. On the other, she's dealing with one of the nastiest alien invasions you could possibly imagine. And through it all, her internal monologue shows us her biggest insecurity. She's just not proving herself to the world. She's trying to prove herself to herself. So by the time we get to issue 3, the gloves completely come off. The Brood invasion kicks into overdrive and Carol finds herself completely outmatched. It's one of those everything's on fire and the hero should absolutely be dead right now kind of issues. But Carol, she refuses to break. She leans into her military training, her powers, and most importantly, her sheer stubbornness. And just when you think the Brood are the main event, we get introduced to a new player, Kree. This guy rolls out like he knows her personality and the vibes are not good. He's mysterious, dangerous, and the fact that he seems to know Carol's history makes the whole thing way more personal. That there's a real hook here. It's just not Carol versus aliens. There's something much bigger brewing, and it's tied directly to her past. In issue 4, the Brood threat seems to be handled, at least for now. The spotlight shifts completely to Kree, and this is where we start diving deeper into Carol's backstory. Kree reveals that he's a Kree soldier, and if you know anything about Carol's history, the Kree are the entire reason she has her powers in the first place. This isn't just some random villain. This is someone who knows exactly who she is, what she's capable of, and what secrets she's trying to bury. This issue expands the scope big time. Suddenly, we're not just talking about Carol wanting fame or validation. We're talking about her place in the cosmic order of the Marvel Universe. Kree basically tells her, you're not just some hero trying to make a name for yourself. Your destiny is a part of something so much bigger. And that's the shift. Carol starts realizing she can't just think about proving herself to Earth. She's playing on a galactic stage. Everything comes to a head in issue 5. Carol and crew throw down a massive fight, and it's not just about who's stronger. It's about Carol proving to herself that she's more than just some soldier, more than just some forgotten hero. She's got to use everything she's learned, everything she is to survive. And just when everything wraps up, boom, Civil War begins. The beauty of this finale is that it just doesn't wrap up Carol's big solo arc, it also launches her into the Marvel's bigger picture. By the end, she's not just chasing validation anymore, she's established, she's proven, and now she's walking straight into one of the most divisive events in Marvel history, with a renewed sense of purpose. It's a perfect way to cement Ms. Marvel as a heavy hitter in the modern Marvel era.
Before we dive deeper into the mission, let's pull the files on the key players: heroes, villains, rogues, and wildcard operatives. This is the subject profiles. Carol Danvers, the cosmic champion. The powerful superhero known as Ms. Marvel, who serves as both inspiration and mentor figure, representing the legacy and responsibility that comes with wielding incredible cosmic abilities while balancing earthbound heroic duties. Doctor Strange, the mystical guardian. The sorcerer supreme, whose mastery of the mystic arts provides crucial magical expertise and otherworldly perspective, offering guidance that transcends the physical realm when conventional solutions prove insufficient. Crew, the ruthless exterminator. A seemingly mute alien super soldier whose singular mission to wipe out the brood species puts him at odds with Ms. Marvel, representing the dangerous extremism that occurs when good intentions are pursued through destructive means regardless of innocent casualties. The Brood, the parasitic menace. An alien species known for their horrifying ability to parasitically reproduce through other life forms, representing a threat that combines cosmic horror with personal violation on a scale that challenges even the most powerful heroes. Sarah Day, the image manager. Carol Danvers' publicist who helps manage her public relations and media presence as Ms. Marvel works to transform herself from a lesser-known Avenger into a top-tier A-list superhero, representing the intersection between heroism and public perception in the modern media age. Traveler, the dimensional wanderer. A mysterious figure whose ability to move between dimensions or realities brings complications that extend beyond normal space and time, representing the unknown variables that can disrupt even the best-laid heroic plans.
Carol Danvers is built from contradiction. She's strong, self-reliant, and ambitious, but she's also emotionally isolated and obsessed with proving herself. This volume highlights that tension beautifully. Supporting characters like Sarah Day bring grounded moments, while Wonder Man acts as a reluctant voice of reason. Even though she's an alien, Crew ends up being the perfect mirror to Carol's inner war. No one here is just a good or bad guy. It's all shades of real-life chaos. Brian Reed's writing is sharp, modern, and refreshingly character-focused. He treats Carol with respect, but never shields her from criticism. Roberto de la Torre's artwork hits the perfect mix of grit and glamour. The action just pops. The facial expressions carry emotional weight. The color works in darker than you'd expect from the book titled Ms. Marvel. But that just fits the internal storm Carol's writing.
They told us not to ask questions. They said the files were corrupted, the intel classified, the case closed. But we kept digging. Welcome to Black Box Theories, where the facts don't add up, the coincidences aren't random, and the truth, buried under layers of denial. Strap in, agent. You're not supposed to hear this. Theory number 1, binary reawakening. Classification, strong speculation. Carol's power spikes and memory issues hint that her binary persona, once linked to a white hole, is trying to resurface. Her space-bound instincts and unexplainable energy surges suggest her cosmic form isn't gone, just buried. Theory number 2, the MODOK manipulation. Classification, fan speculation. What if MODOK's obsession with Carol wasn't just creepy villainy? His targeted attacks may have been strategic. MODOK knows something dormant in Carol could be harnessed as a living weapon. Theory number 3, Avengers' shadow agenda. Classification, highly likely. Carol's recruitment push and Tony's support aren't just out of admiration. The Avengers could be quietly positioning her as Earth's next cosmic anchor, replacing figures like Thor or Silver Surfer in frontline planetary defense. Theory number 4. Spider legacy recruitment. Classification: fan speculation. Anya's cameo might not be random. Carol's mentoring of Arana could foreshadow her eventual role leading the next generation of heroes. Think early groundwork for A-Force or Young Avengers. Theory number 5. Kree programming reactivation. Classification: wildcard. Carol's visions, trauma, and instinctual battle responses might not be PTSD alone. There's a chance residual Kree tech or genetic imprinting is triggering sleeper protocols post-Warbird era.
Set mostly in New York, but with some intergalactic flavor, the setting walks a tightrope between street-level heroics and cosmic weirdness. The backdrop of Civil War tingles over the story, adding political tension to Carol's alliance with S.H.I.E.L.D. The contrast between her desire to do good and the bureaucratic systems around her give her a whole story with a murky and unstable energy. The tone is serious, introspective, and sometimes somber. This isn't a bubbly adventure. It's about reinvention, power, and self-image. Character's costume itself is symbolic. She wears a sleek black suit, casting off the old bathing suit look in favor of a design that reflects her need to be taken seriously. Themes of legacy, female empowerment, self-doubt, and identity make this more than just a punch fest.
Some intel doesn't belong in the open. When a story gets too twisted, too dangerous, or just too damn weird, we file it under red. This is the Red Files, classified content, high-risk statistics, and the kind of secrets you don't unsee once exposed. Proceed with caution, Agent. Red File 1, Setting Milestones. The Best of the Best title mirrors Carol's goal. She literally writes a list of heroes she wants to surpass, starting with Captain America and Iron Man. Red File 2, Identity Crisis. Carol's dual identity struggles reflect real-world discussions of imposter syndrome among high-performing women. Red File 3, Space Villains. The Brood were chosen as the first villains to echo Carol's deep ties to space and her trauma during her time with the X-Men. Red File 4, Wardrobe. Carol's new costume in this series was designed to modernize her look while honoring her 70s Ms. Marvel roots. Red File 5, The Chosen One Writer. Brian Reed was handpicked by Marvel editor Stephen Wacker for his ability to dig deep into character psychology.
In 2007, Marvel was reshuffling the deck, and this reboot was part of the bigger push to bring female heroes into the spotlight without turning them into cliches. Carol's return to prominence wasn't just about nostalgia, it was about rewriting the narrative about women in capes. She's flawed, but powerful, broken, but relentless, and the duality felt totally ahead of its time. Compared to other Marvel heroines at the time, like the She-Hulk, who primarily leaned into comedy, or Storm, who was often sidelined by the remaining X-Men, she doesn't smile through the pain. She faces it, and if you're into Alias with Jessica Jones or Captain Marvel, the 2014 series, this feels like her spiritual prelude. While Best of the Best wasn't a runaway hit, it was an essential stepping stone to what would later become Captain Marvel. Critics appreciated the boldness and introspection. Fans were divided. Some loved the darker tone, others wanted more levity. But in hindsight, this volume laid the groundwork for Carol's modern legacy. Without this, there would be no Captain Marvel.
Welcome to Operation Smokescreen, where the lies unravel and the real story begins. These aren't just plot twists, they're strategic deceptions buried beneath the panels. Hidden motives, double crosses, and narrative ambushes, we expose them all. Classified spoilers ahead, Agent. Let's break the illusion. Smokescreen 1, House of M Echoes. Carol's obsession with greatness is fueled by memories from the House of M reality. Carol isn't just striving for success, she's haunted by a world where she was the most beloved hero. The twist? She remembers everything from that alternate timeline, and it drives her to unnatural extremes in pursuit of fame and validation. Her ambition isn't just personal, it's reactionary, and it's slowly unraveling her judgment. Smokescreen 2, the Puppet Master Protocol. The alien villain Kree isn't trying to kill Carol, she's trying to merge with her. What begins as a typical alien invasion scenario twists into body horror and psychic warfare. Kree isn't just a threat, she's trying to absorb Carol's essence. But the deeper twist? Carol might need her. The fusion becomes a metaphysical standoff for control, blurring the line between symbiosis and identity theft. Smokescreen 3, S.H.I.E.L.D.'s dirty laundry. Carol's alliance with S.H.I.E.L.D. isn't as clean as she believes, while working alongside S.H.I.E.L.D. To handle global threats, Carol slowly uncovers that the agency is keeping secrets from her. She's being used as a political pawn in their broader agenda, and her missions may be more about optics than justice. Trust fractures fast when you realize you're not the pilot, you're the payload. Smokescreen 4, hero or narcissist. Carol's biggest enemy may be her own ego. The book frequently hints at external threats, but the most revealing twist is internal. Carol's relentless need to be the best becomes a liability. She chases perfection but often disregards collateral damage, friends, and her moral compass. It's a red flag wrapped in a cape, heroism tainted by self-obsession. Smokescreen 5, legacy hijacked. Rogue's past attack on Carol continues to affect her in unexpected ways. Though Rogue doesn't appear in this volume, the aftershocks of her infamous power theft from Carol are everywhere. Carol's inability to fully access her binary powers, her distrust of mutant kind, and her fear of vulnerability all stem from that traumatic event. The twist is psychological. Her war isn't just against villains, it's against who she was before Rogue took her life apart.
All right, agents, intel has been gathered, dossiers reviewed, and it's time to declassify the best of the best. Welcome to the awards segment, where we spotlight the operatives, wild cards, and game-changing moments that made this mission unforgettable. Let's hand out some top secret honors.
Top Operative Award, Carol Danvers, Miss Marvel. For field dominance, psychological complexity, and sheer screen presence. There's no question who owns the story and best of the best. Carol Danvers earns Top Operative Award for commanding every scene with grit, fire, and layered emotion. She's not just blasting aliens, she's wrestling her own identity, reconciling military discipline with superhero morality, and redefining what it means to be worthy of the Miss Marvel name. Dark Horse Award, Sarah Day, Carol's publicist, for operating in the shadows and stealing the spotlight when it matters most. Carol's no-nonsense publicist with a mouthful of sass and a heart full of steel. At first glance, she seems like comic relief, a PR agent caught in the middle of superhero chaos. But look closer and Sarah is the unshakable ground under Carol's high-flying ambition. Alright agents, so here's the final report. Strengths. We got a complex female lead with emotional weight. Strong, grounded supporting characters. We got stunning artwork with cinematic fight scenes. Themes of legacy, identity hit really hard. Some of the weaknesses you'd probably notice would be that there's some arcs that feel unresolved. The pacing kind of dips somewhere in the middle. Might be a little too slow burning for most fans that are looking for quick action thrills. Who's this for? If you're into character-driven superhero stories with emotional stakes and a darker edge, Miss Marvel Volume 1, Best of the Best, is absolutely a first-class read. Fans of Captain Marvel, Alias, and the Civil War era will find a goldmine of lore and layers here. Final score, I'm giving this a 7.8 out of 10. It's bold, ambitious, and messy in the way that it feels so real. Not perfect, but essential.